Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Podcast Every Day. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sarah. We are so thrilled you're joining us today.
That's right, another day, another fantastic episode to help you boost your English skills. Sarah, are you ready for this one?
Absolutely, Alex. I'm always ready, especially when we're talking about something as fun and relatable as today's topic. Before we dive in, though, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button and leave us a review.
Yes, please do. Your support really helps us reach more learners like you. And speaking of today's topic, Sarah, what's on the agenda?
Today, we're going to explore all the best ways to talk about our favorite memories and experiences. You know, those best moments in English. Get ready to share some good vibes.
Perfect. I'm already thinking about some of my best moments. This is going to be a great one. All right, so today we're diving into something really exciting and super practical for your English journey, talking about your best moments.
Yes, and this topic is so important because, let's be honest, everyone loves to share their good memories. Whether it's a fantastic vacation, a big achievement, or just a really fun night out, being able to articulate those experiences beautifully in English is a fantastic skill.
Absolutely, Sarah. It's not just about conveying information, it's about sharing emotion and making a connection. And sometimes, when we're trying to describe something amazing, we can get stuck on basic words like good or nice. We want to help you move beyond that.
Exactly. So, to kick things off, let's learn a few phrases that really capture that feeling. First up, we have a moment to cherish.
A moment to cherish. I love that. It implies something so special that you want to hold on to it in your memory forever. You might say, my wedding day was truly a moment to cherish.
Perfect example. Or, watching my daughter graduate was a moment I will always cherish. It's about deep, lasting fondness. It's not just a good moment, it's a profoundly meaningful one.
Excellent. Next, let's talk about the highlight of. This one is great for picking out the absolute best part of an experience. For instance, the highlight of my trip to Italy was definitely the pasta making class.
Oh, that sounds delicious. My personal highlight of last year was finally learning to surf. It was challenging, but so rewarding. You can use it for a day, a week, a year, or even your whole life. The highlight of my career was working on this podcast with you, Alex.
Aw, Sarah, you're too kind, and the highlight of my day is always recording with you. See how natural that sounds? Okay, our third phrase is a memory that stands out.
Oh, this one is great for when you have many good memories, but one just shines brighter than the rest. It's particularly vivid or significant. For example, of all my childhood adventures, the camping trip where we saw shooting stars is a memory that truly stands out.
That's a fantastic image. It implies something unforgettable. For me, a memory that stands out is the first time I traveled solo. The feeling of independence was incredible.
Wow, I can totally relate to that. And finally, let's learn to make someone's day. This is a more casual, but equally powerful way to describe a moment that brought immense joy or happiness.
Yes, for example, my friend surprised me with concert tickets and it totally made my day. Or, just hearing your voice made my day, Sarah.
Ah, Alex, you're making my day right now. It's such a lovely idiom. It's about a small, positive interaction that can really shift your mood. So, we've got a moment to cherish. The highlight of a memory that stands out and to make someone's day.
Fantastic! These are excellent tools to add to your English vocabulary. And coming up after the break, we'll hear a role play where you can hear these phrases in action.
All right, everyone, now that we've equipped you with some fantastic phrases, let's hear them in action. We've got a great conversation between Michael and Sky, where they're catching up and sharing some of their recent best moments. Listen carefully for a moment to cherish. The highlight of a memory that stands out and to make someone's day.
Hey Sky, long time no see. How have you been?
Michael, it's great to see you too. I've been really good, thanks. Just got back from my sister's wedding, actually. It was beautiful.
Oh, congratulations to her. I bet that was a special occasion. Did everything go smoothly?
It really did. The whole day was just magical, honestly. Watching her walk down the aisle with our dad, that was truly a moment to cherish for me. I had tears in my eyes.
Oh, that sounds lovely. I can imagine. Those family moments are the best, aren't they?
Absolutely. And the reception was so much fun too. The highlight of the evening was definitely the surprise dance performance my sister and her husband did. No one knew they'd been practicing.
Wow, a surprise dance. That sounds amazing. I love when people put that extra effort into their wedding. I bet that really made everyone's day.
It absolutely did. Everyone was laughing and cheering. So, what about you? Anything exciting happening recently?
Well, nothing as grand as a wedding, but I had a pretty cool experience last weekend. I finally went hiking up Mount Cinder. It was tough, but the view from the top was incredible.
Oh, I've heard about Mount Cinder. It's supposed to be challenging. Was it worth it?
Definitely. Of all my hiking trips, the moment I reached the summit and saw the sunrise over the valley, that's a memory that stands out. It was breathtaking.
Wow, I can just imagine. That sounds like an amazing accomplishment. I'm glad you got to experience that.
Thanks, and you know what else made my day? When I got back to my car, there was a little note on my windshield from a stranger saying, "Great job, you made it." It was so unexpected and encouraging.
Oh, that's so sweet. What a thoughtful gesture. See, those small things really can make a difference.
Exactly. You never know when a small act of kindness will just make someone's day. So, what's next for you? Any big plans?
Well, I'm thinking about planning a trip to Japan next year. I've always wanted to go. It would definitely be a memory to cherish.
All right, everyone, welcome back. That was a great conversation between Michael and Sky. Now let's break it down and unpack some of the fantastic language they used.
I loved how naturally they incorporated those phrases we just learned, Alex. It really shows how you can weave them into everyday conversation.
Absolutely, let's start with Sky's description of her sister's wedding. She said, watching her walk down the aisle with our dad, that was truly a moment to cherish for me. Notice the use of truly to emphasize the depth of the feeling.
Yes, truly is a great intensifier there. Another interesting phrase Sky used was, "Did everything go smoothly?" This is a fantastic way to ask if an event went well without any problems or complications. It's much more natural than just saying, "Was everything good?"
Exactly, and when Michael responded to Sky's description of the wedding, he said, "Aw, that sounds lovely, I can imagine. Those family moments are the best, aren't they? That aren't they is a tag question used here to invite agreement and build rapport."
Such a common and useful conversational tool. And speaking of rapport, Michael's reaction to the surprise dance was, "Wow, a surprise dance. That sounds amazing. I love when people put that extra effort into their wedding." Put extra effort is a wonderful way to express dedication and hard work.
Yes, it really elevates the language beyond a simple, "they worked hard." Then, when Michael described his hiking trip, he said, "Of all my hiking trips, the moment I reached the summit and saw the sunrise over the valley, that's a memory that stands out. It was breathtaking."
Breathtaking +2 is such a vivid adjective for something incredibly beautiful or impressive. You could also say awe-inspiring or stunning to convey a similar sense of wonder.
Excellent alternatives, Sarah. And finally, the moment Michael received the note on his car, he said, "And you know what else made my day? When I got back to my car, there was a little note on my windshield from a stranger saying, 'Great job, you made it.' It was so unexpected and encouraging."
Unexpected and encouraging perfectly captures that feeling of a pleasant surprise. It's a great example of how small gestures can have a big impact. This conversation really showcased how to move beyond basic vocabulary to express deeper emotions.
Indeed, and for our listeners, notice how both Michael and Sky used a mix of simple and more advanced phrases. That's the key to sounding natural. Not every sentence needs to be highly complex.
Exactly, it's about balance. Keep practicing these phrases and don't be afraid to try them out in your own conversations. You'll be expressing your best moments like a pro in no time. That was a fantastic breakdown, Alex. Now, before we move on to our next segment, I want to quickly address some common mistakes or pitfalls that English learners often make when talking about their best moments.
Oh, that's a really important point, Sarah. It's not just about knowing the right phrases, but also about using them correctly and avoiding awkwardness.
Exactly. One common mistake is overusing superlatives. Learners often say things like, "It was the most best day ever," or "That was so amazingest."
Ah, yes, we have to remember that best is already a superlative of good, so adding most before it is redundant and incorrect. The same goes for amazingest. Amazing is an adjective that doesn't form a superlative in that way.
Right, instead just say, "It was the best day ever," or "That was absolutely amazing." Simple and correct. Another pitfall is not being specific enough.
Oh, I see what you mean. Sometimes learners might say, "My trip was good, I had fun," which is okay, but it doesn't really paint a picture for the listener.
Exactly. To make your best moments truly shine, try to add sensory details or specific anecdotes. Instead of just, "My trip was good," try, "The best part of my trip was hiking through the vibrant rainforest and seeing monkeys in their natural habitat."
Much better, that immediately transports the listener. It's about showing, not just telling. And that leads us to another common issue, using overly formal language in casual conversations.
Yes, you wouldn't typically say to a friend, "I was profoundly delighted by the exquisite culinary experience." While grammatically correct, it sounds a bit stiff for a casual chat.
Right, a more natural way would be, "The food was absolutely incredible. I loved every bite." It conveys the same excitement, but in a much more conversational tone.
Exactly. So, remember to avoid overusing superlatives, be specific with your details, and match your language formality to the situation. Mastering these will make your stories about best moments even more engaging.
All right, everyone, let's hear another real-world example. This time, we have Adam and Sky discussing their fitness journeys. Listen out for those new phrases we just covered.
Hey Sky, how's your new running routine going? I remember you were trying to get back into it.
Adam, it's actually going really well, surprisingly. I've been sticking to it for about a month now.
That's awesome. I know how tough it can be to start. What's been the best part of it for you?
Honestly, the highlight of my week is my long run on Saturday mornings. I go along the river path and seeing the city wake up. It's just beautiful. It's a moment to cherish.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I can totally picture it. So you're finding some calm in the chaos of the city.
Exactly. And yesterday, I actually ran my fastest mile ever. It wasn't a huge milestone for a professional, but for me, it was a memory that stands out.
That's fantastic, Sky. You should be really proud. Those personal bests are what keep you going, right?
Definitely. And you know what else? My friend Nicole came out to cheer me on for that run. Just seeing her there made my day.
Oh, that's so sweet of Nicole. It's amazing how a little support from a friend can make such a difference.
It truly does. It pushed me to finish strong. So, what about you? Any fitness moments lately that have stuck with you?
Well, I started doing some rock climbing indoors, and last week I finally managed to complete a really challenging route. It felt like a huge achievement.
That's awesome, Adam. I've always wanted to try rock climbing. Was it difficult to get started?
It was, but the feeling of reaching the top of that route, that was definitely the highlight of my week. My hands were aching, but my spirits were soaring.
I can imagine. That sounds incredibly rewarding. What a great way to boost your confidence.
Totally. And then afterward, my instructor, Michael, came over and said, "You really crushed that one." Just hearing that from him, after all the effort, truly made my day.
That's awesome. Positive reinforcement is so important. It's those little moments that keep you motivated, right?
Exactly. So what's next for your running? Any races coming up?
I'm thinking about a 10K race in a couple of months. If I can complete that, it would definitely be a memory that stands out for my fitness journey.
You've got this, Sky. I'll be cheering you on. Maybe I'll even come watch and make your day.
Great conversation. Now let's break it down and compare B1 and B2 level language.
That was another fantastic example of how to talk about best moments. And I think this conversation, in particular, offers a great opportunity to look at the differences between B1 and B2 English.
Absolutely, Alex. Let's start with Sky. When Adam asks about her running routine, she says, "It's actually going really well, surprisingly. I've been sticking to it for about a month now." The phrase "sticking to it" is a lovely, natural B2 idiom for continuing something consistently.
Yes, a B1 speaker might say something more direct like, "I am doing it for a month," which is grammatically correct, but sticking to it adds that nuance of effort and persistence. And then Sky says, "The highlight of my week is my long run on Saturday mornings. I go along the river path and seeing the city wake up. It's just beautiful. It's a moment to cherish."
That's a beautiful description. A B1 speaker might just say, "I like my runs on Saturday. It is beautiful." But Sky uses "highlight of my week" and "a moment to cherish" to add emotional depth and more sophisticated vocabulary.
Exactly, and notice Adam's response. "Wow, that sounds amazing. I can totally picture it. So you're finding some calm in the chaos of the city? I can totally picture it" is a great B2 phrase for expressing understanding and empathy, and "calm in the chaos" is a nice alliterative expression.
Yes, a B1 learner might just say, "I understand." Adam's language is much more engaging. Then Sky talks about running her fastest mile. "It wasn't a huge milestone for a professional, but for me, it was a memory that stands out."
Here, Sky uses a fantastic softener. "It wasn't a huge milestone for a professional" to manage expectations and show humility, which is a very natural B2 conversational technique. A B1 speaker might just state, "I ran my fastest mile. It was a good memory."
That's a great point about softeners. And when Adam discusses his rock climbing, he says, "The feeling of reaching the top of that route, that was definitely the highlight of my week. My hands were aching, but my spirits were soaring." "My hands were aching, but my spirits were soaring" is a beautiful contrast that vividly describes his physical challenge versus his emotional triumph.
Yes, that's definitely B2 language, adding a poetic touch. A B1 speaker might simply say, "My hands hurt, but I was happy." Both convey the message, but the B2 version is much richer and more engaging. These examples show that moving from B1 to B2 often involves adding nuance, idioms, and more descriptive language.
Exactly. It's about painting a more complete and colorful picture with your words. Keep listening to native speakers, practicing these phrases, and trying to incorporate those richer expressions into your own English.
All right, everyone, let's do a quick recap of everything we covered in today's episode.
What a fantastic episode, Alex. We learned so many amazing ways to talk about our favorite memories and experiences.
Indeed, we introduced some powerful phrases like a moment to cherish, the highlight of, a memory that stands out, and to make someone's day.
And we heard them beautifully in action in our first audio conversation, where Michael and Sky discussed a wedding and a hiking trip.
That's right, we also broke down useful phrases like go smoothly, put extra effort, breathtaking, and those helpful tag questions.
Then we talked about common pitfalls, like overusing superlatives, not being specific enough, and matching your language formality to the situation.
Absolutely essential tips. And our second audio conversation with Adam and Sky really highlighted the differences between B1 and B2 English, showing how to add nuance and richer descriptions.
From sticking to it to spirit soaring, we really delved into making your stories about best moments more vivid and engaging. You've got all the tools now.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode.
It was such a joy to share all these fantastic tips with you on how to talk about your best moments in English. We hope you feel more confident and inspired.
Absolutely, thank you so much for tuning in. Your support means the world to us.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave us a review, and tell us in the comments what your favorite best moment memory is. We love hearing from you and getting your topic suggestions.
Keep practicing your English, keep sharing those wonderful stories, and we'll be back soon with another exciting episode of English Podcast Every Day.
Bye for now.
See you next time.